Well, I wanted to hop on here to Instagram Live and let me see who's here while we're waiting for people. Wow, people are just pouring in. Hey, talk it out, Cummings. Hope you're great. Hey, matzah Hari. We have John from India. We have tukta lova. Tell me where you guys are from, please, while we're waiting for everyone to load into this Instagram Live. From Milo is from El Salvador. We have someone from Oman. We have Werner from South Africa. We have, how are you, my friend? Well, that was, I wanted to pass someone in. I have Busi from living in Canada. We have Susie from Colombia. We have Juan from Colombia. We have Shah from India. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to get into some valuable information in a minute. I just want to recognize the people, those of you who are taking the time to be here with me. Okay, let me respect your time and let me offer you some hopefully valuable information. I was doing a lot of Instagram Lives in April because I just wanted to be an evangelist, to remind people to be at home and to respect lockdown. And I was putting in a lot of content to help people that were struggling with all the uncertainty on the planet. And I was making all of these reports like the Victory Over Difficulty manual. And then I just sort of went dark. And if you've been wondering why I've gone dark essentially and haven't done, I don't think I've even done one Instagram Live for quite a while, except when I was in a writing cottage by the Atlantic Ocean in June. It's because I've been working on my new book. Do you guys want to see my new book or the manuscript? It's round number 8. John Irving, the writer, said, I'm not a good writer, I'm a good editor. And I have been in lockdown, boots on the ground, locked and loaded, writing this book for you. And this is, like I say, round number 8 of this book. And I don't know, you guys want to see the manuscript? And if you don't, I'm going to show it to you anyway. No, I'm joking, but I'm just on fire around this new book. And so here's part of, my assistant Angela is working on the other pages, but here's part of the new book. And like I say, John Irving says I'm not a good writer, I'm a good editor. So what I did was I wrote this book in Tribeca in February, and I got the manuscript, which was 700 pages long. And then I've spent lockdown, of course, with my family. But aside from that, I mean, all of my speaking engagements were postponed until next year, every single one of them. And so I haven't been, in Rome, and I haven't been in Mauritius, and I haven't been in Barcelona, I haven't been in New York, and I haven't been in Shanghai, and I haven't been anywhere really. I've just been working on this book. And so I've been rewriting it because that's my process. A lot of you have been asking, Robin, what's your process? Well, my process on this book is write a 700-page manuscript that I thought was pretty good when I wrote it. And then 3 weeks later or 4 weeks later, after my executive assistant gives it to me, round number 2, I went, I can't believe that I wrote this because it's not that good. And that's when the real work begins. It's rewriting and rewriting and rewriting. This is yesterday's rewriting. And so I wanted to show you this because A lot of you have read the 5 a.m. Club and have said, oh, it's so smooth and it's so put together and it's so flawless. And, you know, many of you are saying it's magical and you've read it 5 times or whatever. And I'm delighted that the 5 a.m. Club has been so helpful to you, especially right now when the world is so uncertain and you want to find your own heroism and you want to be more productive, you want to be more creative, you want to have a greater impact. But please don't think that I'm somehow cut from a different cloth than you are. I'm obsessed with putting value out into the world that will be of service to you. And I remember that everything I put out has my reputation on it. And so I do my best not to put anything out that's not worth the gift of your attention. So what else can I say? The book is coming along well. It's in round number 8. That's a little bit about my process. I want to talk, obviously, about the world that we're in. Is it a volatile world right now? Absolutely. I'm not going to tell you right now that the world is full of positivity, but there is a lot of positive in the world too. Wherever there is darkness, there are always the first rays of an early dawn, are there not? And as Christopher Morley once said, he said, we can curse the darkness or we can light the candle. And when heroes show up is during dark times. And you don't need to have a title. You don't need to be a statesperson. You don't need to be leading a country. You don't need to have formal authority to be an inspirational force on the planet today. You don't have to have a position to create a masterpiece in lockdown that will make the world a brighter place. As a matter of fact, I think this is one of the best times in history to press the pause button or the reset button in your life and start to learn to meditate, learn to journal, rise at 5 a.m., learn the 20-20-20 formula that I've taught in the book that is helping so many people across the planet stay strong, focused, brave in difficult times. When everything was good pre-COVID, we were busy being busy. We were on social media. We were at the office. We were traveling on airplanes. We were in restaurants. It's harder to be reflective when you're caught up in the world. Now, a lot of us are at home. We're not traveling, or I know that airlines are now flying, but most of us are not traveling. Most of us are at home. Most of us are wearing masks when we go out. I'm not, by the way, I'm not in any way trying to recommend or anything. I'm just going to say, for me, what works is wearing a mask when I go out, not only for me, but to respect the other people on the street. Because that person could have someone elderly at home. And we know that this is a virus that also affects people that are not elderly. And it affects people that might not have comorbidities. Anyway, it's a great time right now to get to know who you truly are. It's a great time right now to read the books you've always wanted to read. It's a great time right now to learn your journal. It's a great time right now to take an online course that will upgrade your mindset, heart set, health set, soul set. It's a great time right now to fortify your skills, to learn how to be a master of what you do through online courses or podcasts or YouTube videos. So, and it's a great time right now to do nothing. One of the things I'm working on right now, if you've just joined us, this is my new book. Oh, this new book, by the way, is going to be very personal. It's going to be very personal. people who've read, my editors who have read the book so far said, Robin, ooh, you are so honest in this book, as I always want to be. But I wanted to show you something here. I don't know if it, but I'm going to share a lot about my life. I'm going to share a lot about my story. I'm going to share a lot about how I spend my days. And anyway, oh, here it is. And here's a chapter about when I was in school. So there's even going to be pictures in that book. And see that little kid? Yeah, that was me. That was me when I was, I think, 9. And yeah, it was a picture of me working on my first book. 9 years old, working on my first book. That's how committed I've been. No, I'm just joking. Just joking. I wasn't 9 writing my books. No, just joking. I think I wrote my first book, which actually wasn't The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It was a book unfortunately titled Mega Living. And I think I was in my late 20s. I was in my late 20s. And when The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari hit and became a worldwide phenomenon, I was early 30s. So yes, I've been at this for hundreds of years, it feels like sometimes. Anyway, all joking aside, what else can I offer to you? I think we're going to go through a period of uncertainty. There's, with all the lockdowns, obviously that's going to affect all the economies. And I think we're in for a messy, uncertain time for many years. And I always want to be as honest as possible with you, because that's how I think I can be of service to you. And so what you want to be doing is asking yourself, what do you need to do? A lot of people who follow me are leaders and entrepreneurs and industry titans. You want to ask yourself, how can you bring extreme value, astonishing value to the marketplace in times of incredible, extraordinary upheaval? I'm not going to use the word unprecedented times. If I hear that word one more time, I can't believe how many people, it's unprecedented change, unprecedented times. So I won't use that. Messy times are ahead, but we've been through it before. We've been through it in the Great Depression. We've been through it in the past. And so it's the survivalists and it's the hopefulists and those people who are agile and nimble and who learn how to adapt. And that's why one of the chapters in the new book is about Darwin and survival of the fittest. And so you need, what I would encourage you to do is use this time to get really fit. Use this time to dial in your nutrition. I'm drinking turmeric ginger tulsi tea. It's great for your immune system. I'm not giving you any medical advice, but I drink it. Ginger, turmeric, tulsi tea. And it's great for your immune system, great to reduce inflammation, great for, I believe, cognition. And what I'm saying is this is a great time to get fit, even more fit. It's a great time to elevate your nutrition. It's a great time for you to retool your business so it's a more efficient business. A lot of businesses were very leveraged because I believe it was, interest rates were low, borrow lots of money, grow your company. And now a lot of people are suffering in business right now, of course. So, I mean, if you can protect your hope, you can build a more efficient company. And you can also ask yourself, here's a great question, what value does my marketplace need right now that I can deliver? And how can I be the best person in my field to deliver it? And personally, you can ask yourself, okay, we're in for 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, or some people say 10 years. I believe it was over 10 years that it took to resolve the Great Depression. So how can you use what's ahead to stay strong, to protect your family, to have a lifestyle that you appreciate? And I think it's going to be a time for simplification. Personally, I love it. I'm simplifying as never before. And I feel so good. I've been on the process of simplifying for the past number of years. And that's probably why you're wondering, why don't you do the Titan Summit anymore? Why is Personal Mastery Academy next year your last one? Why are you doing less keynotes? Why might you not write another book? Or I'm in a process of my life where I'm stripping down to the essentials. I'm only doing the work that I enjoy doing. I'm only surrounding myself with the people who lift my joy. I'm only inhabiting the places that I want to inhabit. I just believe simplicity is way better, not only for your craft, but your happiness, than complexity. Even the best businesses, they're really, 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 really good at one thing. I've realized, why should I write 50 more books? Why not just write, hopefully, one masterpiece? And so I think in many ways, as leaders, as entrepreneurs, as human beings, we fill our lives with more things because that's what society suggests we should do. What I'm suggesting to you, you should do is wisdom requires that we empty our lives versus fill our lives with more things. And that's one of the benefits of the time that we're living in right now. We can pause, we can refocus, and we can ask ourselves, what are the things that we want to build the rest of our lives around? And as you know, I mentor a lot of world leaders and very successful entrepreneurs. And in their businesses, my advice is always focus on the fundamentals. Just keep it really, really simple. Laser focused on your biggest opportunities. What else? A lot of people are really negative right now. I'd say, I used to say for about a quarter of a century, avoid the news. Right? Avoid the news. I used to say, sell your TV. And people would always say, Robin, but the news informs us. And you know what I'm going to say? I was wrong. Or I don't know if I was wrong. Maybe I've changed my philosophy. So now and obviously we're in a very volatile time, but I'm starting to pay attention to news right now. And so what I'd say is simply this. The news can be, if you follow the right news, rigorous news, thoughtful news, well-researched news, the news can be a great source of understanding how to pivot your business, how to protect your family, how to navigate what's coming. It can be really helpful. But I believe that in many ways, too much news creates cortisol, it creates negativity, and sometimes when I've read the news, I just feel depleted. So what I would recommend, or what's working for me, is once or twice a week, I'll dip into the news. I'd say this, study the news, but don't be addicted to the news. And as always, check the quality of your sources. For years, I avoided a lot of social media. I avoided the news. And now that I'm starting to embrace the news a little bit more, you can see there sometimes remember in the 5 a.m. Club? Remember that chapter about superficiality versus granularity? See, the masters are about granularity. The masters study, research. It's all about the details. They go deep versus wide. Too many people, I'm not judging, just reporting, too many people, it's like superficial. A superficial report, a superficial opinion, a superficial assessment. So yeah, you want to stay positive. You want to look at the news so you know what's coming. And there's some good reasons to be optimistic, right? The Oxford study looks on the possibility of a vaccine. The early trials are Very good. And human ingenuity is amazing. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a vaccine sooner versus later. A lot of positional leaders are stepping up. A lot of people are doing the right thing right now. So there's a lot of good in the world, but I would say, don't watch the news too much. I'd say stay fit. I'd say remember that food is medicine, so watch your nutrition well. And look, a lot of us are craving carbs in lockdown. I think it's the cortisol, the fear hormone, that makes us want some more carbs. And I'm writing a lot about this in the new book. Please don't hold me out as some guru. Yesterday I had a few pain au chocolats, and that's okay. I've learned. I've been fasting a lot as I write this book. I've been hydrating. I've been disciplined. I've been working out. And yesterday I felt like having 2 chocolate croissants. And it felt good. And I slept well. And today I've been full of fire. So maybe pain au chocolat will be my new pre-writing ritual meal. I'm just joking. I like the fasting a lot. By the way, fasting is incredible. I'm writing a lot about fasting in the new book, and fasting. Did you know this? I read that fasting releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Pretty amazing. If you wonder why a lot of the great sages, heroes, warriors, saints fasted, and why the major religions of the world recommend a period of fasting, neuroscientists are telling us that fasting releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which increases your brain's processing ability, which promotes neurogenesis, the creation of new brain cells, which helps repair brain cells damaged by stress. So anyway, fasting has worked well for me. Hydrating has worked well for me. Having beautiful times with my family during lockdown has provided me with so much joy during this period of turbulence. And I want to end on purpose. I mean, I have never been so on fire to be of service. I don't have to write another book. I spent 4 years writing the 5 a.m. Club. And why am I writing a new book? Why am I putting myself through this? It's going on 6 months of dedication bordering on an obsession to make this new book the best thing I've ever put out, the most clear thing I've ever put out, the most calibrated book I've ever done, the most inspirational book I've ever done, the most creative book I've ever done, the most provocative book I've ever done. Why? Why am I working so hard in lockdown to write this book? It's because, as one of my clients once said, this is not business to me. This is personal to me. And the mission that I am on to remind you of the genius, bravery, authenticity, audacity, and love within you, even if you don't believe it, so that you unapologetically own your heroism and love yourself, even if the entire world hates you. That's a mission I'd be willing to take a bullet for. Martin Luther King is a great hero of my life, and he said, unless you have found something you are willing to die for, you're not fit to live. And I would die for this mission that I'm on. And that's why I'm still working so hard. And that's where I draw my energy from. That's where I draw my joy from. And so in this time of enforced quietude, ask yourself, what is your mission? What is your crusade? What is your mighty aim? whether you're a school teacher, whether you're an Uber driver, whether you're a frontline worker, whether you're a prime minister, a president, a grave digger, a dog walker, a pizza maker, an airline pilot, a poet. I don't know what it is you do, but you don't even have to do something different. All work has dignity, all labor has honor. The key is to just sort of reframe your mindset and your heart set. Remember the 4 interior empires in the 5 a.m. club? Mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. And if you have not read the 5 a.m. club, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? It is helping people just like you across the world own their bigness, dial in their morning routine, because the way you start your day is the way your day is going to unfold. And this is, the 5 a.m. club is not just a book of motivation. I don't do motivation, actually. There is neuroscience in it. There is philosophy in it. There are battle-tested tactics that I've shared with many of the most successful people in the world. So just read the book. Read the book, study the book, and a lot of people are loving the 5 a.m. Club's audiobook. And if you don't want to read it, it's okay. I mean, I'm not here to force anything on you. If you're not interested in growing, increasing your positivity, escalating your creativity, growing your impact, living a heroic life, then don't read the book. But if you really want to make a difference in your life right now, then read the 5 a.m. Club or listen to the audiobook. What else can I give you? Well, in my link here on Instagram in my profile, there's always, my team always puts reports or free audiobooks or so. I don't know what my amazing team has put as a link in my profile because I'm focusing on my book. I mean, in the 5 a.m. Club, I talk about the tight bubble of total focus. I'm in the tight bubble of total focus. So I don't really know what's going on in terms of a lot of things, but there are some good things there. Also, if you want to watch some valuable videos, I do a podcast called The Mastery Sessions. And so you can find them on iTunes and YouTube. And I've started a new podcast, short form, daily, to help you get through these turbulent times. And it's called, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called the Daily Mastery Podcast. And so you can find that, just search Robin Sharma Daily Mastery, and you'll find that podcast. And then you can head over to the content mothership, robinsharma.com, and you'll find, in April, I released some really valuable reports. And one I'd recommend to you is the Victory Over Difficulty report. My team and I worked really hard on that, so that'll really help you through some difficult times. Oh, you know, I'm always giving out hopefully excellent free content. So, there's a series of videos called the Everyday Hero Formula, and I believe it's the Everyday Hero formula.com, but you can search that. Let me go to some of your questions, because it looks like I just want to spend some time here. Like I said, I haven't spent time on Instagram for ages. So, someone said, Taryn Preet said, genius. I'm no genius. I just work really hard. I'm really focused, and I run the right routines, and I associate with non-toxic people, and I just create an ecosystem. In the new book, I talk about ecosystem. Your ecosystem determines your performance. And so if you're in a toxic ecosystem that depletes your game and your fire and your energy, then of course you're not going to operate at your best. Do you guys have any questions? If you do, I want to answer them for you. Coco asks, what's the first of your books you recommend to read? By far and away, the 5 a.m. Club. But because of the worldwide success of the 5 a.m. Club, a lot of people are going back and reading my books that you might not know about, like Who Will Cry When You Die, like The Leader Who Had No Title, like there was a book I wrote 24 years ago called Leadership Wisdom from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So read the 5 a.m. Club, but because you're asking, what are my other books to read? I'd say Who Will Cry When You Die. A lot of people have really found that valuable. And The Greatness Guide, Leader Who Had No Title. I've got a lot of books that people don't know about in a lot of countries. Slaven Legator from Croatia. Hope you're great. Someone from Colombia again. Lots of Colombians on this Instagram Live. Melissa Torres asks a question I'm getting a lot of. How do you find your life purpose? I'm writing about that in the new book. What I'd simply say this is, you don't find your destiny finds you. And how do you find your life's purpose? You live. How do you find your life's purpose? You take risks. How do you find your life's purpose? You trust your instinct over your intellect and you see where it leads you. How do you find your life's purpose? You pray, you meditate, you journal. How do you find your life's purpose? You talk to mentors. How do you find your life's purpose? You take online courses. How do you find your life's purpose? You be willing to fail, because taking the wrong roads gets you to the right roads. And if you live life like that, eventually, through blood, sweat, and tears, you find your life's purpose. Is it an easy sport? No. Is it the best sport you can play? Yes. Whew, I am fiery today. Better keep on eating those chocolate croissants, right? From Bahrain, how are you? And from Puerto Rico. I miss being in Puerto Rico. Someone's from Iran. By the way, I do want to mention this. With great respect, there is a version of the 5 a.m. Club in Iran that is, it's not an authorized version, just so you know. And I do see the good karma in it, and I'm always trying to help as many people as possible. But I wanted you to know that that version is not a legal. The version I've seen is not a legal version. And I spoke to the person via DMs who was insisting, he wanted to publish it without my publisher authorizing it. And I requested that he didn't, but he went ahead and did it. And I just wanted to put that out there. Birkin from Latvia. I hope you're great, Birkin. What else any greetings from India, greetings from Venezuela. I know it's a challenging time in Venezuela right now. I know I have a lot of readers in Venezuela right now. And what could I say to anyone who's really struggling that doesn't sound like a platitude? I'd simply say, even when you think there's no hope, hope is there. I'd say, even when you can't see a solution to a problem, every problem has a solution. I would say you are stronger than you know. And that's it. Andrea from Colombia. I have Krasilova from Kyrgyzstan. I have Alia from the UAE. I miss being in Dubai and the UAE. South Africa. Okay, guys, looks like there's no, or if you have some questions. Oh, someone says, here's a good one. Someone asked, Nasra asks, is there an Arabic version of the 5 a.m. Club? You're from Oman? Yes, there is. Definitely. Someone says, The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO, why no one talks about that book? Diva from the Philippines, Elena from Romania, mulțumesc. Someone from Ecuador. Come on, guys, ask me some questions. I'm here to serve you. Some words from, someone's asking, what are some words for students in the pandemic? Spend less time on social media, spend more time reading. Spend less time checking your notifications, more time meditating. For students in the pandemic, I'd say spend less time eating processed foods, more time exercising. I'd say for students in the pandemic, break any addiction that you have to digital distraction. It's unbelievable how addicted so many of us are. You can change the world, you can play with your phone, can't do both. What is the purpose of my life? Eshikar. What is the purpose of my life? To serve. Life is pretty short. I just want to be helpful. Natalia, what's my morning routine? Well, someone asks, how old am I? Some days I feel like I'm 192. Some days I feel like I'm 22, like today. So what's my morning routine? Well, in the 5 a.m. club, I talk about the 20-20-20 formula. And if you want to know the morning routine I've taught to the billionaires, the sports superstars, the great artists, it's in the 5 a.m. club. I believe the 20-20, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I believe the 20-20-20 formula is the minimum viable morning routine. So apply it, it's going to help you without a doubt. But no idea works unless you do the work. You've got to stay with it for 66 days, according to the research of University College London. My morning routine, yesterday morning I was up at 4. I did a story yesterday. I think it was 3:53. And my morning routine is I meditate often for an hour. And then I sweat to release BDNF, dopamine, serotonin, reduce cortisol. Even if you can get 10 minutes of vigorous, intense exercise in, it'll change the way the rest of your day unfolds. You'll have, your neurochemistry will be upgraded. Your metabolic rate will be escalated. Morning exercise will remake your moods. It'll provoke your creativity. It's just, I don't like the term game changer, but morning exercise is a game changer. So I'll meditate and then I'll get on my spin bike or get on the treadmill, or even yesterday, I just went for a walk, but I tried to walk quickly. Then I often journal. I mean, here's what my journal looks like. And, you know, I do deconstructions in my journal. I write notes in my journal. You know, if you haven't, I've been encouraging people to write a journal for 24 years. Even in Who Will Cry When You Die, this book I wrote years ago that is becoming very popular again. One of the chapters was keep a journal. And I'm so happy now to see so many people talking about journaling. And this morning when I was showering, I thought, you know, I should probably in the new book write about why I keep a journal. And really quickly, I'll say, if you're wondering why you should keep a journal, I would say journaling is writing is journaling is praying in writing. Number 2, journaling clarifies fuzzy thinking. And the more clear your thinking can be, the more precise your performance will be. 3, if you're having a hard time, journaling is an awesome place to process through toxic emotions that you want to release from your heart set. 4, journaling allows you to practice what positive psychologists like Sonia Lyubomirsky call deliberate gratitude. By writing what you're grateful for, which rewires which degrades the negativity bias of the human brain and upgrades your focus on positivity. 5, writing about your intentions activates the energy of your intentions. I'm just jamming here. 6, as you live life, you experience adventures. Writing allows you to record your adventures so you can relive your adventures. 7, writing about the woman or man that you wish to be is called a pre-commitment strategy, which actually gives you more self-discipline to become the human being you want to be. 8, writing when you don't feel like writing is brainstorming on paper, which makes you more of the artist you're meant to be. Okay, I've just given you 8 reasons to keep a journal. Is this a good Instagram live, or is this a good Instagram live? I'm not fooling around here and wasting your time. Okay, people are asking, when can we read the new book? When can we read the new book? My publishers have asked me not to speak about the release date of the new book yet. How did I find out? Oh, I've already answered the question about purpose of my life. Someone says, an amazing jam. Yeah, that's what I wanted for you. I'm not out on the road. I'm not delivering keynotes. I'm not doing events. I'm a nomad. I need to be on airplanes. So, I guess this is an outlet. The new book is definitely, I need to get about half of this done. I need to go because this is what's left of the manuscript. If you're just joining me, I'm on round number 8 of the new book. It is, I don't want to use the word painful, but I'm going through every line with a fine-tooth comb because I want it perfect. I want this book to be by far the best book I've ever done. And after this new book is done, maybe I'm not going to write another book. I'm starting in lockdown. I've been working on my cooking skills. And so if you've been following me here on Instagram, you've probably seen that one of my dreams, one of my aspirations, one of the things that makes me come alive is, get this, a little 11-seat restaurant in a very hard to find place. I'm gonna make you do some work if you want to find my restaurant. Maybe it'll be in the south of Italy. Maybe it'll be in Slovenia. Maybe it'll be in Mauritius. I don't know. Maybe it'll be in South Africa. And there's some amazing restaurants in South Africa, aren't there? So I don't know if I'll write another book after this book. I really don't know. I don't know what'll happen tomorrow. I just know when I detach, and again, I'm already writing a lot about this in the new book. When I detach and let go of control and just say, how can I best serve? Where do you want me to be? Oh, great spirit that runs the galaxies. Then I stand in possibility. And when I stand in possibility, you know, I'm led to where I'm most meant to serve. So I do have a dream to get, first of all, to be a better cook, because, you know, I can do some pretty good food right now. And over these past months of lockdown, my family likes my food a lot more. Before it was like, we're not going to eat your food, Dad. We love you, but Dad, we're not going to eat your food very much because your food, you know, your food will be great miracle grow for our garden. But my cooking is getting much better now. And I'd love to start a restaurant. 11 seats. It's not going to be a big restaurant, little tiny restaurant. You're going to actually have to hunch down and you're going to have to crouch down over the tables. No, it's going to be a little restaurant, but it'll be food from the earth. Food that is fresh. Food, you know, like the best food. It's like, that's why I love Italian food so much. If you go to the right Italian restaurant in Rome, or in Puglia, or in Alba, it's fresh food, simply prepared with skill and love. Go to any restaurant, or maybe it's not the best time to go to a restaurant. You know, I can't wait till I feel it's safe to go back to a restaurant. By the way, if you're just joining me, anytime I go out, I wear a mask. Don't just do it for yourself, do it for the people around you. But if you talk to the best chefs, they say, my secret recipe is love. It's the energy of love, you know? It's this electricity. If you feel love for your work, you feel love when you're writing your new book. Intentions are potent. If you put out an online product, or you're doing a piece of code, or you're creating a pizza, or you're working and you hate your customers, or you hate the world, then don't be surprised if you don't get much traction around your ambitions. That's why the 4 interior empires in the 5 a.m. club, mindset, heart set, health set, and soul set. That's the key to everything on the outside. If you love yourself, if you reconnect with your primal genius, if you know who you truly are, then you walk out in the world unapologetically who you are, and you love the world, you love your craft, you love your genius, and you just radiate your humanity. You don't need to market. You don't need to sell. People feel the magic when they taste what you do. Okay, this has been quite a jam, and I hope you guys are great. I hope it's, let me leave you with a few final ideas. Number 1, use lockdown to upgrade your skills, to upgrade your wisdom, to build yourself. Number 2, be kind. One of the benefits coming from COVID-19 is more justice in the world, less hate in the world, more kindness in the world, more respect in the world. The things I've been talking about in my books and events and courses online for 24 years. And number 3, you've heard me say it. Why wait for more heroes to show up when if you look in the mirror and then do the work and read the books and take the steps and wire in the practices, you can be the hero the world is waiting for. And wouldn't that be a great thing? And I'll see you in my little 11-seat restaurant in a hidden forest where you get to eat my cashew pepe, okay? I'll tell you one thing, after this Instagram Live, there's going to be a 10-year waiting list for my little restaurant. But I'll see you there if you want to be there. Take care. Bye.